I cannot believe it is April 1st, but no April Fools are going to be found here. I'm going to be sharing my top 5 most anticipated releases of this month. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. So very excited to be filming this video. I was on the struggle bus of choosing my top 5 most anticipated releases. I had an easy 4. I felt confident. The 5th one, I do feel confident, but it's probably not on the same hype level as the first 4, though they're in no certain order, but number 5 will make sense when we get there. But let's go ahead and dive in. For number 1, I am saying my super cute Black Mage Volume 1. It's gonna be a new debut, and I am so stoked. This was actually mentioned in my video last year of my top 5 most wanted licenses of hopefully 2025, and yes, it had happened. I'm not very sure something came to mind of somebody saying that the male lead is sort of mean and they were very surprised. I'm hoping he's not too mean where I just don't like him. I sort of feel, based off of how this book is about, is our male lead, he does seem pretty mean. He's pretty grouchy, he's very much on his own, he's very brash to other people, so everybody just sort of avoids him, especially too since I guess maybe says he's the Black Mage, and I'm like, is there a stigma there because he's the Black Mage? I'm not really sure, but our female lead, she is, I think, an honor student. She's the prefect of like her dorm, and she's been trying to avoid him, but I guess one day she accidentally bumps into him and she hears the like thoughts of his heart, and what he's saying is not matching what's in his heart. And I think it says right here on the cover, he's saying get lost woman, but in his heart he's saying I like you. I feel like even if he is mean and even if he says things that could be very hurtful, not borderline abusive or anything, but where he's just really grouchy, I feel like the words of his heart is what's going to be the one that wins me over. I feel like it's going to be really cute in that regard, especially if the female lead is the only one who has this ability. I don't know if it's an ability, but whenever she specifically bumps into him, only she knows what he's thinking and what he's saying, and again, inside of his heart. I feel like it's going to be good. This is a 5-volume series, I believe, that's completed. I'm sad it's on the shorter end, but I really, really look forward to it. Volume 2 is even up for pre-order, and I said, oh my goodness, is Volume 1 even out yet? And we already have Volume 2? Like, yes. I already have it on my pre-order list, though. I'm eagerly looking forward to reading this, and I truly, truly hope that I enjoy it. It's just as funny as it seems to be, I guess, to be determined when I actually read it. For number 2, I still cannot believe we are getting this in English, and at some point, at some time, we have talked about in the manga news video, that's getting an anime, and that is Apprentice Nail Artist in a Foreign Land. Y'all, when I first discovered this, it was several years ago. It was like when I was just first getting into manga, and I've at least been into manga for 5 years I've actively counted. And I remember coming across this. I remember that was the first time too, or one of the first times that I was using like manga/baka updates. And I'm like, man, this sounds so good, because I was really into doing nails at that time. And I just thought it very fascinating because this story centers around a young woman who somehow gets, I'm assuming she gets isekai'd into a fantasy world, and in this world, doing your nails, having nail art gives you some kind of ability, or like it strengthens your ability, because she does talk about how she's a master goblin. I'm like, we have goblins in this world? Like, okay, I'm seated. We're gonna have some world building, I'm assuming. But when she is starting out, she's not the best, I guess, at doing nails. Like, she's really trying. She's giving her all, and it mentions that she's an unexceptional heroine. I'm like, oh, even though like obviously she has to be a chosen one or a lucky one to come into this world. So this manga seems to center around her being in this other world and really working on her skills as a nail artist, or a nail tech, I guess you would say, in modern times here. And that aiding these creatures? I don't know, these creatures, these people, in strengthening their magical abilities, because she doesn't seem to have any magical abilities at all. Like, even though she's the one doing the nail art, she doesn't have anything. It's just how, maybe, I don't want to say how good she does the art design, but maybe if it's really intricate, maybe it increases their skills. I really don't know, but I just remember being so excited and just so mind blown that there would be an actual story centering around nail art and it giving people magical abilities. Like, that just felt something that I would never imagine, but the coolest idea. And I'm very, very excited to try it out. I'm really, really hoping that I enjoy it. I did see somebody wrote an early review. They got a review copy and they did say the world building was very, very good. So I do feel very optimistic in that regard and truly hoping that I like the entire story, not just the world building. I hope I connect with the heroine. I hope I like the characters, you know, all the things. I want it to all come together. And I think the cover art here is very, very pretty. I really love how they did nail artists. I'm like, that's so creative. I have heard that the French edition of this series does have colored pages. I'm so hoping that Tokyo Pop can keep that. It doesn't seem to be at the beginning of the manga, like it's actually woven in like the pages throughout the manga itself. I would love to see what comes from that. Hopefully, well, since I really don't know what pages they are, hopefully that will not deter me if I can't see it, but I definitely think that the color could just make that nail art pop, and I would love to see what kind of designs that she comes up with. Just a lot of questions about this, but really good questions where I'm excited and very, very interested and intrigued to see what comes, and truly hope I enjoy this first volume because I do feel my expectations are very high. For number 3, this is a manga I actually tried out a long time ago. This was like so far back that I didn't quite realize at the time what scans were. And I was like, oh, this manga was, I don't know if it's still there, but at the time, I'm like, this manga's been uploaded online for free. I'm like, how cool is that? Laura. You know, now I know it's on Comic-Key. I think it's on Manga Up as well, but that is The Prince's Keeper. I was overjoyed to see that Square Enix decided to physically publish this. I never imagined. I don't know how many chapters I read at that time, but I remember it being very, very cute. It's about a young woman who is a witch. She runs, I believe, a magic shop of some kind of sorts. Very much a recluse as well, but she gets invited to a royal tea party and she decides to go. I don't remember her really wanting to be there, but she does decide to go because, you know, you don't want to get on the bad side of royalty, obviously. And when she's there, she runs into, I think it's a cat, and this cat is just so attached to her. She ends up going back home. Come to find out, this cat is one of the prince of this nation. I don't know what his order is. I think there's like three or two different princes, but he's one of them. And something like a curse or something has been placed upon him. And so he decides to team up with our reclusive witch here and keep his identity a secret, but also, I think, find out what exactly is happening to his body and why he's becoming a cat, because it was not on purpose. It wasn't what he wanted, but somebody did it to him. I cannot remember if politics were playing a role, but I just remember really, really enjoying what I had read of this. It was an easy pickup for me. It is 2 volumes, but it is ongoing. I think it's been on hiatus for a hot minute, but shortly after the physical license announcement, I think the series did come off of hiatus after that time. Actually, you know, while we're here, let's go to Comic-Key and go see, because I know there's been a new chapter since then. I just cannot remember. For Comic-Key, they actually say the Prince's Keeper, the cursed prince, is too fluffy to resist. Sorry, I think I said that when I was laughing, but it said the cursed prince is too fluffy to resist. Now, Square Enix did not have a subtitle the same way Comic-Key is doing. So they haven't uploaded the new chapter. The last one was from 2024, but I do feel very confident that it is off of hiatus, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I definitely don't think I read any of volume 2. It was just some of volume 1. Man, I really hope that I enjoyed just as much as I did all those years ago and all of that fuzziness and not fully sure what happened, but just remembering it was super cute. Let's hope that, yeah, that I feel the same way now and enjoy it just as much as I did back then. For number 4, to nobody's surprise, Glass with a Chance of Delinquent, Volume 6. Yes, very, very excited for a new volume of the series. I should say in English. I don't think they're up here. No, oh, you can't see them. They're beside Tengu's Love. But yes, I have been collecting them in Japanese, and I really, really love the direction of where the story is going. Where the previous volume ended, it was about to enter into the getting ready for the school festival. There was a class vote that was happening, and what won was a cross-dressing cafe. Momo voted for Ishikura to be one of the guys that would be like serving, be a waitress, waiter at the cafe. He was none too happy about that, but now it's going into where we see a interloper really making a scene, and I really like so many things that come down and happen in this chapter. This volume. I still feel volume 5 is probably my favorite because it had the house date and that was so cute. Absolutely adored it so much. But goodness, is gonna be getting better and better, lots of fun, and there's no love triangle, so don't worry when you hear the term interloper. It's like, oh my goodness, Momo and Ichikura, they are locked in. They are rock solid. There is no doubt, and I feel like it will be trying to like make it spoiler free, but just know that this upcoming volume is so great, and I do love how we're gonna be seeing some jealousy from Ichikura. Like, we were already starting to see that in volume 5, but just know it sort of like heightens, gets a little bit more in volume 6, so cannot wait to have another volume of my faves. Like, yes, I'm so thankful that we're getting it. I think I just put volume 8 on my pre-order list the other day and even asked Books A Million, like, hey, add this to your 20% manga sale. Cannot wait, friends. I cannot wait. It's gonna be good. I love it so very much. And then for number 5, last but not least, I decided to go with something that I actually have not read, but it's been releasing for a little bit, and that's volume 3 of I'll Never Fall in Love with Amino. So I told myself with this series specifically, I was gonna do something I typically don't do, and that was I was gonna buy all the volumes and then binge read it at once. I tried to not do that anymore. I feel I was burned too many times in like, what, 2024 when I worked through the backlist of manga series that I had not read but I have bought. But since it was 3 volumes, I felt that was pretty low commitment, and I knew that I really wanted to support this series. I wanted to support Tokyo Pop because I feel like that was starting to be the beginning of us getting all of these shoujo releases and shoujo licenses from them. So from what I remember and what I know of this series, I will say briefly reminds me of Last Game, but how they act is swapped. So the female lead is very competitive, and she is very upset that this guy in her class is doing just as well as she is. So she's supposed to be number 1, he's being number 1 right there with her, and she is just so angry about this, and every time I guess she tries to surpass him, he either does the same as she does or he does even better than she does. Something happens in here where he thinks that she has a crush on him when that was definitely not the case, but somehow this ends up leading into a romance, and I believe they get into or have a personal romantic relationship at some point. I sort of read the blurb of volume 3 when I made the Shoujo release calendar. You can check it out here. Goodness, I hope that the series wasn't necessarily like axed, because what the blurb said, I'm like, this is a really weird blurb to like end the final volume on. Like, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen, but I truly hope that I like it. Even if I don't, I already told myself I will be okay, you know, selling it off, because I'm like, at least I supported this 3-volume series. I know it's in, or was in, the Dessert magazine, and that was just something I was really excited to do and just support, but really hoping that I will like it. And part of why I wanted to have it on my top 5 most anticipated list is because I'm like, I can finally read it. I can finally, after all this time, read it, because I've just been waiting. There's been several times where I'm like, you know, I should just go and start it. And I'm like, no, just wait, just hold on. I am very much hoping that in the month of May that I can do a dessert themed video series the same way that we did with Besatsu Margaret. That's my hope. I'm not really sure. I have been planning things, but I need to actually like sit down, especially now that my daughter's better and spring break is coming up. So I feel like I have a little bit more extra time to really think, okay, what do I want to do? What series do I want to review? And what series do I just want to feature in general? I say all that because this will be one of them, especially if I do the event, and even if I don't, I just really, hopefully I will like it. It will want to do a video review and gush about how amazing this series is, or even if it's not overly amazing, just I hope it will be a fun time, because it reminded me of Last Game is why I initially wanted to pick it up in the first place. Last Game is such a fun and exciting manga, and having another series remind me of that just felt like, okay, let's go for it. I'm here, I am seated, and hopefully one of my top 5 anticipated releases of April is on yours. If it's not, I did put together a short little graphic. I'm not really saying it's a game. I mean, you could make it a game, but I just wanted to feature some manga debuts specifically that are coming. There was only one that I couldn't do. Because I couldn't get the frames to work properly. And we'll just say that here, that it's Honeybee and Lemon Balm that is coming from Kodansha. But yeah, these are just several of the Shoujo manga debuts. So let me know if you see anything that you're like, yes, I'm also planning to pick that up. I would love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!